you will go to the doctor for something that has nothing to do with birth control. And then what do they give you? The birth control pill. Welcome to the Pillow Talk podcast, except it's just Kai in bed yapping. The vibe here is that point of a sleepover where you're just lying in bed and things get really sad or funny or political, anything extreme, that's the goal. So enjoy. I know I haven't really been speaking much lately. I've just had a lot going on, and I didn't want this podcast to feel forced, and my energy really felt like it was needed elsewhere in my life. I have a lot going on, big things coming up, and I'm sure I'll be sharing that on my YouTube soon, hopefully. So, yeah, I'm very excited, and I finally feel like I have the space to come back here. So, we're so back, and I have things that I've been really, really wanting to talk about, some things that I've really been wanting to share with you guys and hear your guys' thoughts on and experiences on. So, let's get into it. Today, I want to talk about something that I know affects women out there. You will come across different women, and they'll all have different reasons for why they started the pill, and very, very seldomly is it actually that they wanted to not have a baby. For me, it was acne. I went to the doctor because I was having acne problems, as a teenager does, and they obviously gave me a pill, that Accutane stuff. I don't even know if that's what it's actually called, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. After that, when it worked and my skin was looking good, they were like, so listen, you want to keep your skin clear, so the pill is going to help you with that, so let's put you on the pill, okay? And obviously, teenage me was not upset about it. So I was like, okay. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I have heard of people getting it for having migraine and for heavy periods and stuff like that. And it's like, you don't actually need the pill for that. Of course, it helps with hormones because that's kind of what it does. It either pumps in progesterone or both progesterone and estrogen. Your hormones play a role in your period pains, in your acne, in so many different things. So I understand why they're always just like, here's the pill, but it's not good. Having these fake hormones being pushed into us every month for years of our lives is really bad. And I didn't know this until I went to university. I started the pill in high school because of my acne. And then 7 to 8 years later, when I was in my honors degree or doing my honors degree, my oncology lecturer told us that the birth control pill is a class 1 carcinogen. And I was like, what the fuck? I had already been hearing bits and pieces throughout my life of why you should stop the pill, but I was always like, whatever, I'm not going to stop it. And I'm not going to lie, the actual main motivator pushing me to almost find reasons why I should stop taking the pill is that I stopped having a medical aid. So I started having to pay for this pill every month, and it was 300 Rand every single month. So yeah, I guess I was more motivated to find reasons why I don't have to pay for it anymore. But I didn't have to look very hard. It was so obvious. And like I said, I'd been hearing these things my whole life. I just kind of brushed it off because I guess I didn't really feel like there were any issues with it, Anyways, when my oncology lecturer said this, I was like, what the heck? Now I really need to do my own research, figure out what I'm doing with this, if this is really something I want to continue with, because I had been doing it for 7 to 8 years already. I say 7 to 8 because I really don't remember exactly when it started. So it's 7 or 8. Really hope you guys are hearing me properly. There were 2 episodes where I tried to do live, and the sound was horrible, and I'm so sad about it still. Yeah, I'm not doing the live thing. I've decided, I've tried it out, and it was a cool idea, but I like editing. I like being more creative with it, I'm going to explain a bit in depth now about the class 1 carcinogen thing, because I know not all of you are science geeks like I am. You have class 1, class 2, and then I think class 2 A and B, class 3 A and B. I don't know if there is actually A and B. I can't remember. But yeah, there's different classes. Class 1 is the worst. And basically the way that they class carcinogens, and if you don't know, a carcinogen is something that contributes to the development of cancer. The way that they group these is based on how certain they are that this causes cancer. So class 1 is like, it definitely does. And that's not to say that like if you consume this or use this or whatever, that you will get cancer. It's more just like cancers have definitely been caused by these things, you know? So then I went to do my own research on it. Like I said, that kind of motivated me to really look into whether I should be doing this or not. When I went to do my own research, I found some good sides, but the good sides actually motivated me even more to stop taking the pill. So, with the carcinogen thing, studies show that it does build up your risk of getting cancer when taking the pill, but the effects are reversed when you stop taking the pill. So that's an amazing thing, you know. It doesn't mean that all hope is lost now that we've started taking the pill and we've taken it for a few years, right? So yeah, that kind of motivated me even more to stop because I'm like, okay, I want to reverse the effects that might be going on here. Breast cancer can be caused by like an overload of progesterone because then that like overstimulates those cells and then that's where the cancer kind of starts. Something like that. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but that's how the pill has been shown to do that. Because obviously it is literally just a pill of hormones, progesterone usually. Don't worry too much about that. You can reverse the effects. It's just crazy that we're told to take something every single month for years that is a class 1 carcinogen. Like, it shouldn't be so pushed onto people because there are healthier or natural ways to go about the actual reasons that we usually go to a doctor and then they give us the pill. And then there was just a lot more other things that I started seeing when I was doing my own research. So actually, there was a point in time where I started doing research on how to help my gut because I've always had stomach issues. If you know me, you know. I was like, you know what? I want to do my own research. I want to stop hearing what everybody else is telling me. I want to do my own research. And I can go into that sometime if you guys would like. When I was doing my gut health research, guess what they said is one of the top things that destroys your gut health, specifically your microbiome? The pill. And if you're like me, my gut is a priority to me. There's a connection to your brain. There's a connection to your organs. It influences how you digest things, how you absorb things into your system. And that connection to your brain, it literally influences your moods. Like, it's so important. And then another thing that I've seen with most people that stop the pill, they always said, whatever issue you had before taking the pill, when you stop taking the pill, that issue is going to come back. Because guess what? The pill isn't solving any problems. It's just covering it up. It's just working the symptoms, but not the actual root cause, you know? Everybody sees our body as the enemy. You see your symptoms as an enemy that you need to get rid of, but your body is the messenger, not the enemy. When you see symptoms, you're not supposed to just try to get rid of the symptom. You must figure out the root cause. Your body's trying to tell you something. With the pill just kind of covering up symptoms, keeping things constant for you, you actually lose a connection to your body, you know? You're not able to listen to your body anymore. Your body can't give you any of the signals saying like, hey, I need more of this. Hey, this isn't working for me, because that's the pill's just covering it all up. So you lose your body connection. Now, if your body wants to tell you things, you have no idea what's going on. And then that quietly builds up into different things that affect your health, your mental health. With all of this stuff, it just became really clear to me that I had to stop. And I'm in a relationship, so I guess it was a bit scary to be like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this birth control thing. But I never saw the birth control pill as trustworthy, if that makes sense. So I never only relied on the birth control pill. So kind of nothing has changed for us. Now I want to talk about my journey since being off the pill. Basically, my journey of recalibration, if you want to say, because obviously my body hasn't been controlling things for like 8 years. I'm going to go with the 8 years. It's more dramatic. But yeah, for 8 years, my body hasn't been controlling things. I haven't been releasing an egg for 8 years. So obviously, there's going to be some imbalance, you know? It's going to take some time to recalibrate because honestly, I am starting to see that my body has figured it out. So, but it has been 8 months since I stopped. Eight is showing up a lot in this video, huh? It's been either 8 or 9 months, but I'm pretty sure it's eight, okay? When I got off the pill, my cycle started off very whack, obviously. So it was 30 to 31 day cycles, and my period lasted like 9 days. It was not fun. It was not fun. And it was also very weird. Like, usually I experience period pain in like the first day, first 2 days or something. And I would get my pains in like the third or fourth day. It was so weird. And in the beginning, I was very strict with my cycle syncing. Like I really wanted to help my body out. So, yeah, and I will go more in depth with that in a different video. I was basically just trying to help balance out my hormones because certain things I was seeing getting off the pill kind of made me aware of what the imbalances were. So, like, I got really oily skin, which, according to the internet, means that I had high testosterone. There's just like a whole bunch of things. But anyway, I knew it was imbalanced. So I was trying to help my body out a lot. Basically, like starting your mornings with high protein so that your body can have the amino acids to build the hormones necessary, and not putting too much stress on your body because then it's going to focus on cortisol. So, getting sunlight in the morning in your eyes, red lights at night, or at least reducing blue light at night. That helps with your cortisol. And then I also started drinking spearmint tea, which is really good for balancing hormones because it releases like a specific chemical. I'm going to explain cycle syncing in a different video because I could go on about that for so long. Like, there is so much to go into with cycle syncing. I'm sure we all know the gist of cycle syncing, but I go so much more in depth with it because, I sync with the moon because women are aligned with the moon. Men are with the sun. It goes really in depth. So really, stay tuned. That's going to help a lot. But now, 8 or 9 months later, I can feel that my cycle is back to normal. Not only the obvious way of seeing that I am back in a 28-day cycle, my periods only last 5 days long, and they're pretty normal, but also I stopped having oily skin. So I said earlier that my skin was getting really oily after I stopped taking the pill because I had like high androgens, which is basically testosterone. And I only knew because I was using a cream for oily skin. So obviously it's a very lightweight cream. And then eventually that wasn't moisturizing my skin enough. And I realized, oh, it's because my skin isn't overproducing oil anymore. So I had to go back to previous cream, which was really cool. I know that my cycle is back to normal now, and I'm really happy about that. But basically, my journey now is focusing on the issue I had before taking the pill. So, like I said earlier, the pill didn't solve any issues. So, going off the pill, the issue that was there before the pill is back. So, now that is what I'm focusing on. I am still getting acne, but I can tell it's not hormonal. Firstly, because my skin doesn't get as oily. And secondly, because it's not just around my chin anymore. Like, it kind of happens very randomly. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I've stopped cycle syncing and stopped trying to help my body. It just means now I'm not really so worried about it. Now I can worry more about the actual issue at hand. That's how my body functions. I'm cyclical, you know? So I still continue to cycle sync, not out of balancing my hormones, but more just out of being a woman. I just love the idea of being in touch with my body and helping it in any way that I can. This body's freaking amazing. For this journey, I have been basically changing my skincare, changing my diet, changing my hair care routine, the products that I use to wash my body. I've also been changing my clothing. A lot of our clothing is made from plastic. So your clothing that's made out of poly something, your nylons, your spandex, all those things, the waterproof things, the very slicky things, it's made from plastic. And yeah, it's all cool and good to be recycling plastic, but the thing is, plastic releases chemicals called endocrine disruptors. And when absorbed by the body, they literally act like estrogen or something. It's like, oh, okay, there already is these hormones, so I don't need to produce more. Which is so bad. It's so bad. That has so many implications in our health. So, yeah. I'll link a video down below if you want to know more about endocrine disruptors and where they are found. But they get released a lot more in heat. So that's why I try not to wear clothing made from those things directly on my skin, so my underwear, or like gym clothing, because obviously you get sweaty and hot. But yeah, it's a journey. And honestly, I must say, like since stopping the pill, my gut has been so much better. I digest food so much better. I don't get bloated as much, like actually barely ever. And when I do get bloated, it's because I've been eating really bad. I would just get bloated over everything because my body couldn't digest shit. I can definitely see the difference. My body has been feeling a lot better and I'm really happy. I'm really happy with my decision. But also, ever since getting off the pill, like I've just been so much more in touch with my body and I've been able to learn its rhythm, little things, but I'm so happy about that. And it's also been a part of my journey of embracing my femininity. If you haven't seen, I've made an episode about that before. Honestly, getting off the pill has been a part of that. Like, I've been able to connect so much more with my womb, learning its cycles, learning what benefits it, what doesn't benefit it. Like, I've been so connected to my womb. It's so beautiful. And another thing is, like, your womb is like such an important source of intuition and manifestation. It also hinders all of that stuff. So I really do feel like I've been so much more in touch with all of that, which is also a part of femininity, you know, being intuitive and creating and whatnot. So that's been really cool, you know, getting back in touch with that, my true intuitive source. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you are also currently getting off the pill or if you want to get off the pill, like there are some people that go on the pill for birth control, and that's fine. I really would love to hear your thoughts. Please stay tuned for the next episode. I'm so excited to talk about cycle syncing and my journey with that. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for listening to today's Pillow Talk episode. If you have any thoughts, please comment them down below. I want this to be a conversation, like a sleepover. I love you so much. Bye.